Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca and here in my little corner of the web I like to talk about budgeting and lifestyle content, and today I am sharing my September 2021 budget with me. I make this sheet every month based on what the Plum paper sticker subscription kit looks like because that's what I have and that's what I plan in. And this month's I really liked. I'll show it to you really quickly. It's like a flower theme. Not very fall-y, which I kind of thought it would be more fall themed, but cute. And I have just recently started selling these. So if you like this budget sheet, you can actually find it in my Etsy shop. Just a quick note, but I will just get into it. So this month is, some things are changing in the budget, mostly as far as income. This is the first month without my part-time job that I had. So I had two part-time jobs. If you're new to my channel and you haven't seen anything, both in nonprofits, and I was not very happy in one, so I quit it. And the other one I actually love, and I am, taking on more hours, and I will actually soon have a role title or a title change. And I wanted to focus on my own business, which is event planning. So I haven't shared in the past, my sources of income and my husband's sources of income, and I still won't share those. They used to be four, and now they're just three sources. But I will share my business income, and honestly, this is just to be really transparent. I don't expect to, make a lot of money from this business, especially starting out, and I don't have anything that I am planning to take home in September because I'm trying to invest everything that I'm making back into the business through advertising, through supplies, that kind of thing right now, and just to kind of build up in a business emergency fund. So I don't expect to take any money home right now, and I don't know when I will be able to start taking money home, but I just thought that I would share that just to kind of show you the reality of what that looks like for me. And then I do share our miscellaneous income, and we don't, which kind of looks really lame right now because I don't expect us to take home anything in miscellaneous income. So those are both zeros. So you'll just see the total that we do expect to take home is from the three things you can't see, but that's $4,950. And this is much lower than, it has been. And that's because my job was, one of our very steady sources of income. So my husband's work, he's self-employed, and he is a draftsman, and he teaches music lessons. So the music lessons are pretty reliable as far as income, but the draft work, he works for an architect, is not. So that makes up a really big part of our income, but I don't like to budget, on the high end of that, just in case we don't see as much. So that is kind of why this number is so much lower, but there is, a high possibility that the number will actually be higher, which would be great. But I felt like, and this is a whole kind of longer story, but I felt like we were getting too comfortable living on a bigger income, and it was kind of making me nervous just because I didn't want to be reliant on that big of an income, because not that it's like a huge amount, but for us and for me specifically, coming from, 2 years ago or even a year ago when I was not really making very much money, I was only making like $35,000. It just was a huge increase to be, as a family unit, making around $100,000 yearly. So I don't want to become reliant on that because I do plan on not working full time once we have children and they're young. This is like a whole long thing. Sorry, I'm getting into it. But so I wanted to make sure basically that we could comfortably live on less. So that's kind of a long story short, how I feel about, pulling back. And it's not the end of the world. And, we could definitely see an increase, but I'm okay with it. Anyway, so the top of our budget is always our tithe. So we give to our church and other organizations. And this month, I think we're doing 300, or based on what we have planned for income, we're going to do 338 to our church and 157 to other missions, for a total of $495. And then our mortgage, this is $1,200 always. But I'm not quite sure how this will change. I know that our taxes are going up, and I don't know when they're going to recalculate our escrow, but we need to start paying more, I think, because of that. And we just switched home insurance. We had to, and I think that went up just a teensy bit. So it'll be interesting to see how this changes. My phone bill is $44 always. Our Wi-Fi, $70. Electricity, I already got the bill, and it's going to be $147. Yikes. But when you live in Texas and it's the summer, that's just the reality of it. Water, sewer, trash, I don't know, but I'm estimating 95. Natural gas, I don't know either, but I'm estimating 35. Car insurance, we just changed car insurance because it was going to go up a lot. We were paying, and this is, I was so irritated by this because when we bought our house and we got home insurance, they made us bundle it with a new car insurance, even though I was totally happy with the car insurance that we had through Geico, but they made us change to Progressive. And that was fine, but we had to install this driving mechanism thing, and it raised our rate, which is not great, but it raised it from $147 to $229. So I was like, ooh, I don't want to pay that. Or $154 to $229. So we switched back to Geico, and for the first month, I don't know why, but they only are charging $89, and then it's going to be $147 every month after that. So I'm not sure why it's less in the first month. I guess it's because it's like a half month, but that doesn't really make sense. I don't know. That's just what it is. And then Jared's health insurance is $161. And then this is a new line item. You'll see we added several bills because I was waiting to add these things until after we finished paying off debt because they're kind of unnecessary, but I wanted them. I wanted life insurance for both me and my husband in case something happened to one of us. And I filled that out, got my policy, everything's good. Jared's is still pending because of like some questions that he answered about travel that we're going to take. And so they're asking him further questions about that, but they already gave me a quote and I'm assuming it's going to be, around that amount. So I think for the both of us, it's going to be $59, and that's $23 for me and like $37 for him. So, not too bad for, reassuring, that we would be okay in the event that something happened to one of us. And so our total for this bill section is $1,900. And we also added one more bill. I got a gym membership, but I ran out of lines here and I didn't want to add another line just because I was trying to figure out, do I count that as a bill or do I count that as part of the subscriptions line item? And I decided for this month to count it as a subscriptions line item, and then we'll see if I want to move it to a bill just because it doesn't really, I have other technically bills that I consider a subscription, and that's kind of how I feel like a gym membership is. So I don't know, let me know your thoughts where you would put it. But our groceries and household budget I raised because we have just been going over in this, and I just feel like it's not really realistic based on what we're spending to keep, doing $400 a month. That's what we've always done, and it's getting harder and harder to stick to that. So I'm raising it to $450 with still the hope that we could do $400, but because the budget is so tight now, as far as like goals, like savings goals, we have definitely enough for what we need, but because there isn't as much wiggle room, I don't want it to be, really upsetting if we go over and then don't get to put as much towards our goals. So I just thought, be a little more realistic. That way you don't disappoint yourself. Our eating out, we always give ourselves $180, which now that we're debt free, I feel so much less guilty about this because I know a lot of people say that eating out is a waste of money, but I really enjoy it. And as a person who has to cook every night that we don't eat out, it's really like I don't know, it just feels like I get to relax and not have to worry about that, and I can kind of take a breath. So I think it's worth every penny, honestly. And then gas, we're planning on spending $100. And then Jared always gets $100 for his allowance. I get $100 for my allowance. And then subscriptions, because I'm adding the gym membership into this, I think it'll be about $80, and that includes gym membership. I think we have a subscription box for the razors that we buy for Jared coming this month. We have it every other month. And then Apple Music, 2 Apple Cares, and then like Apple Storage and Google Storage for work. So that's what makes up that. Oh, and a New York Times subscription. But that's what makes up that. And then we have a house category. So household refers to, like toothpaste, toilet paper, that kind of stuff. And then house is things that we are still buying to kind of spruce up our house. If you don't know, we bought the house, our first home, last September, but we didn't move in until April. And we have been slowly or rapidly, depending on how you look at it, trying to furnish it and make it feel like us. So we've been getting stuff for that. And it is, September is the start of fall, so we might get some cute little fall things. So I budgeted $50 for that category this month, which makes our total for this section $1,160. And then moving down to sinking funds. So I don't have the number for start because it's not the end of August yet, so I don't know how much will end the month in all of these categories, but I do plan to add $180 to home maintenance and then $80 to renovations. I don't know that we're going to do any renovations next month, but even little things like end up costing so much. So I'm just including that. And then a big goal that we're working on right now is travel. So I'm adding $500 to that. We are planning a trip for next summer to go to Europe for 2 months. And I know that it's not the most fiscally responsible thing, but it is really important to me. And this is kind of not the last chance that we could do this, but kind of like the last for sure summer that we know we will be child free, and kind of the best opportunity for this is right now. So that's kind of my reasoning for that. And also, you know, I don't really have to explain myself to anybody because it's our money and it's fun. So, and then gifts. We are planning $80 for gifts. I don't think we actually have to buy any gifts in September, but that's just, you know, to kind of fill up the coffers for October, which is my birthday month, and then moving into Christmas. And then Christmas, the next item. This line is for gifts, but it's also for things like Christmas lights, Christmas dinner, anything like that that we need to buy. The first year in a home, we bought a Christmas tree last year, but I think there are going to be some other things that we'll need. So, or not need, but that we'd like to have. So we're putting aside $80 for that. And then health, we're putting aside $50, and auto, $50. So the total of those sinking funds is $1,020. And then our savings goals. So we're definitely not doing as, shaking the camera, sorry, doing as much as, you know, I would like to do for investments, but I'm trying to ease this up every month. So right now I have a for sure, we're doing $300, and that's $150 to each of our Roth IRAs. And obviously I would like to be doing way more. I want to get to the point where we're doing 15% of our income, but I just have a lot of other short-term goals that are kind of still taking precedence right now. So that's just the reality of it. And then for our emergency fund, you know, we do a zero-based budget, and this just happened to work out to a nice whole even line. So this is the goal that we're putting every extra dollar to right now, because we're trying to get our emergency fund to $10,000. Right now I think it has like $6,300, and that number is only $75, which is, you know, really sad compared to what we've been able to do in the past, in like the $1,000 to $2,000 range. But like I said, I think it's important to humble yourself. So this is what it's looking like this month, making this total $375, and that is just our monthly budget. And I hope that this is, you know, helpful and encouraging for you to see. I know that a lot of people who post their budget on the internet have really high budgets, and sometimes it makes me feel sad and self-conscious because I think, you know, I'm never going to have that. And then I need to remind myself that, you know, you don't need to compare yourself to other people and what they're doing, and you need to be grateful for what you have and make sure that you are, you know, being a good steward of that. So that is what I'm trying to do, and I hope that this video helped you with that. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and check out my Etsy shop, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.